We are in great danger. I might as well tell you right up front. I don't know how long it will be before the danger manifests itself, but we are in great and grave danger. Not merely because of this deal with Iran, but because of our ethics as a people and because of our lack of critical thinking leadership. Leadership with the proper ethics, with the proper wisdom, and with the proper courage. We lack the right ethics as a people. We have the wrong leadership. And this deal, God save us, the deal with the Iranians. Now, I'm going to look at this in a historic manner, in a logical manner, and in a prophetic manner. And I hope that you will stay with me as we look at not the exact details of the Iranian deal, because frankly, they're not all out yet. The Israelites, the nation of Israel, haven't leaked them all to us yet. But what I have read so far suggests that they will get literally hundreds of billions of dollars, the Iranians will, that they do not have to submit to spot inspections, unannounced inspections of their facilities, that they do not have to agree to any arms deals, and that they don't have to agree to stop funding terrorism around the world. All right? So that is what I have read thus far. President Obama says that this is going to put them on a path to have nuclear power, but not a nuclear bomb. And people on the other side are saying that this deal is worse than they could have imagined. But what I'd like to do, I'd like to start at the beginning and look at this from a a historic perspective, and then logical, and then prophetic. Let us start with the 1930s and Adolf Hitler, Germany, and the nation of England and the allies that they ultimately had. But before we do that, let's go back to Versailles. Versailles was the treaty that formally ended the hostilities of World War I, put the blame squarely on Germany, and gave Germany a bunch of rules that they had to follow. Among them were that they could have no air force, that they could not have a general staff, that their army had to be limited to, if my memory is correct, 100,000 troops. There were a few other things, but basically it made them a subservient nation to the victorious allies of World War I. Hitler said that these terms were absolutely unacceptable, and that's how he rose to power and ultimately obtained power. He spoke of Germany's humiliation. So he was determined that Germany was not going to abide by these terms. He began to build an air force. He said that they were postal planes. Now think that one through with me. He made this massive air fleet of planes and said that they were for postal service. All they had to do was be retrofitted with bombs and guns. He reinstituted the general staff. He had hundreds of thousands of young men training in marching drill fashion with broomsticks and shovels. But he was developing an army that would take orders. All they needed were guns. Part of the terms of Versailles was that there was to be a 30-mile buffer zone between Germany and France called the Rhineland. It was a demilitarized zone. Hitler marched men in there. If my memory is correct, it was in 1934. Don't hold me to that. But France had an obligation, according to the Treaty of Versailles, to drive the Germans out if the German soldiers set one foot into the Rhineland. And guess what France did? Nothing. Nothing at all. At that time, Germany also began to develop its U-boats, its submarines, which were also against the Treaty of Versailles. Having a general staff was against the Treaty of Versailles, and they did that. So slowly but surely, Germany broke one portion of the Versailles Treaty after another, and the people who were morally obligated and politically obligated and under international treaty obligated to stop Germany did nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong. They had public statements, sort of like John Boehner or Mitch McConnell. They flapped their jaw, but they did nothing. I'll be right back and tell you who the biggest trading partner with Germany was prior to World War II and what was their number one item that they traded.